All right. So Raul saying, honestly, I'm a little disappointed by such a grabbing money narrative. So many unfinished staffs, but team is pushing us to buy another set cards, etc. What are you feeling about it? Um, you know, like Raul, I get where you're coming from. I just like, disagree with it because I've seen money grabbing things in the past, and I just don't think that this is the case, right? Like every company, if you define it, like every company is money grabbing out there, right? Like why? Because like they need to keep the lights on and they want to chase partnerships and they want to grow their business. So, last year there were a ton of pre-sales, and I would say that the narrative about like money grabbing at that time was definitely felt more than it is now, in my opinion, because we got like, all these pre-sales for games that were going to take at least 6 to 9 months to come out. Now, obviously the team is working through that. We are going, we had the pre-sale for Tower Defense, I think, in September. So if we get this launch, or at least a beta, by February, that's what, 6 months, or by March, like 6 months. So I can understand why the team would do the things that they're doing, selling first to help fund the game. So I get it, right? Like to me, I just don't see it as like money grabbing, because I've seen some really, really terrible projects out there that just try to rake over their users. And I don't know. I don't necessarily, I just don't necessarily agree with it. I don't feel like Splinterlands is doing that. I feel like Splinterlands has brought some awesome partnerships to the mix, and that stuff just takes capital. And when you think about it, would you rather a VC come in and fund that stuff for us, but then they get to keep a lot of the upside? Or is it something that we can get early access to? I don't know. I'm not saying that there's a right answer to that, right? Like, could a VC come in and provide all of that value, that upfront capital, but then they get to keep, a lot of, the upside? Like, imagine this, right? And again, I'm not saying that there's a right answer. I'm just trying to give you an alternate perspective here. Imagine if a VC had come in and partnered with Double Coconut and Splinterlands, and they said, we're gonna fund everything up front. So September of 2022, we did not get a pre-sale. So no pre-sale, no heroes, no SPS for people who have been holding their packs, right? We just didn't get any of that. But come March of 2023, we get a game launch, and then you have to buy packs from the get-go. Which one is worth more, right? Because now all of that pre-sale, all that SPS, all of whatever, all the heroes, right? All that stuff goes to the VC, the whale, if we want to call it that. And ultimately, like, you come in and you just get to play a game by buying things on the front end. And the team then has no way of rewarding you for being an early adopter. So again, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but what Splinterlands has traditionally done is fund things by doing an early sale and then deliver the product, hopefully in a reasonable time. And they've just been notorious, obviously, for not hitting those deadlines. And Land is going to be is the biggest meme out of that. But ultimately, it's just a different model. And if you're not feeling comfortable with the model, or you feel like you've gotten burned with the model, especially over the past, call it 18 months or 13 months with the bear market, or 15 months since like November 2021, I say this with like love and empathy, but like this space, this model just may not be for you, right? Like, I'm not saying that to go to Web2, but go play Spider Tanks, or go play like some of these other things where it's just like you don't have to worry about like buying something ahead of time or pre-sale. Like, it's just, or stay within Splinterlands, but then just never participate in a pre-sale. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but then you miss the upside, right? So it just comes down to your preference. Like, you actually don't have to participate in any of this. It's still gonna happen. It's still gonna come in at some point, but you just have to wait from September 2022 to March 2023, and then you buy the packs when they're there, and you see what the value is afterwards. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But enough people have been around the Splinterlands ecosystem for a while to see that the team does try to go out of their way to make sure that early adopters are rewarded. So if you don't want to be an early adopter, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you do, the opportunity is actually there, which, I think a lot of people hyped and FOMO'd into and are feeling that. A lot of people hyped and FOMOed into that are either not used to the model or actually should not be, like their personality type is not compatible with that model. And it's just like, yo, this stuff is going to come to Splinterlands. And I know they're working on even other crazier stuff down the road. And if they come out with like pre-sales for that, just skip it. Just skip it. It's, you know, you don't need to feed into or buy into the narrative of like this whole like grabbing money for pre-sales, and just play the game when it's out. Like, here's me, for example, right? Alex always calls me out for like FOMOing into projects. Well, with GLX, I own 0 packs. I'm so excited about the project, and I'm even doing content about the Genesis League Goals game, right? Because I'm super excited for where the platform will go in the future. But I own 0 packs. Why? Well, because I didn't want to buy into a presale on a game that we didn't know when it was going to come out. But when it does come out, you can bet I'm going to hop in, maybe buy some packs. More specifically, I might just go in and buy some specific cards and create a team or a deck or however, you know, they term it. But yeah, ultimately, like, if you're not comfortable with all of this, nobody's forcing you to go in and buy all the stuff. So I don't know. That's my thought.